Let's draw a gemstone. Start by drawing a small polygon of your choice. A polygon is a shape with 3 or more straight lines. Draw lightly because eventually we're going to erase these lines. Now we're going to keep drawing the same polygon, but bigger and bigger. Notice that instead of turning the ruler, I spin the paper to make it more comfortable for me to make the straight lines. Now let's connect the corners to make the edges of the gemstone. Now it's time to erase. That way, when we make the watercolor effect, it looks more realistic. Now we're going to create a wax resist by simply tracing everything again with white crayon. Since it's difficult to see the white on the white paper, what I like to do is do it clockwise or counterclockwise to stay systematically and not make a mistake. You can sort of see the crayon lines if you view it from an angle. Here's some examples of make pretend gemstones, but that still have the same effect as real ones. I would suggest to pick your birthstone. I think I'm going to choose green and emerald. Let's paint each individual section by first applying a wash. A wash is when you wet the paper first and then you apply the paint. Now let's use two analogous colors. Instead of just using green, I'm going to use green and a color that's next to green. In this case, I'm going to pick green and blue. And while the paper is still wet, I'm going to apply the color and make them blend from one section to the other. One section green and slowly blending into blue. Now repeat the steps to all the segments, keeping in mind craftsmanship. One way to have good craftsmanship is to never paint two things that are next to each other at the same time. That's why here you see me paint this segment that's far away from the previous one. I like to dab or tap the colors in because it gives it a more like marbleized look, sort of like a crystallized look. So I prefer that instead of brushing it in. Just let the wet paper do the trick. You could use a paper towel to soak some of the wet medium if it starts to get a little too messy. Now we can start painting segments that are right next to each other. Notice how the white crayon resist is going to act as a barrier. However, you still need to have good craftsmanship on your own, so stay inside the lines and paint neatly as much as possible. For time's sake, let's just fast forward the video. Here I'm going to put blue on two of the edges and leave the green on the middle part. Try to make all your segments different by changing the values or just the style, like one light, one dark, just so it looks different and they start to stand out. You don't want them to look all alike, it's just going to blend all in. It's quite satisfying to leave the big one in the middle for last. This one, for it to stand out, I'm going to paint it a little bit lighter by simply adding more water than paint. Now to give it more dimension, I'm going to paint all the edges a little bit darker. That's going to make it look like it's farther away. Now for a finishing touch, let's add some salt. It's going to give a crystallized effect. And there you have it. Hope you liked it. Have some fun. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.